this tutorial, we will talk about concept relations within propositions. We noted that there are four kinds of semantic concepts: things, events, attributes, and relations. We've talked about semantic things, semantic events, and semantic attributes. Now we're going to talk about relations. In every proposition, there are semantic concepts such as things, events, and attributes, but there are also meaningful relationships between the concepts within the propositions. So, for example, in this baseball illustration, we see that the central concept in this proposition is an event, hit, and there are two thing concepts associated with it, John and ball. And there are meaningful relationships between these semantic concepts within the propositions. In this case, the thing concept, John, is related to the event as the agent. John is the one who does the action. So with event propositions, when we describe the semantic relationships between the concepts within propositions, we call those case roles. Mark chapter 1 verse 9 tells us that Jesus was baptized by John. Now in this case, there is skewing in this proposition because Jesus is in the subject slot grammatically, but he is not the agent. He's not the one that did the action. He's not the one that did the baptizing. He's the one who was baptized by John. The semantic agent is John. So we may say, why can't we just use the grammatical terms? We're already accustomed to the term subject. Well, the problem is that the grammatical subject is not always the semantic agent. So we must have two separate sets of terms because of skewing. If this proposition were restated in its unskewed form, we would say John baptized Jesus. In this case, the grammatical subject is the semantic agent. There is no skewing. We have lined these up. Skewing, again, is a mismatch when the grammatical subject is not the semantic agent. The semantic role is constant, and that is what we must represent in translation. Even though the form may be quite different, where the semantic agent may not be represented by the grammatical subject, but when we translate, we need to make sure that it is very clear in our target language who is doing the action and to whom the action is being done. So when we talk about the doer of the action, in semantic terms, we call that the agent. The agent is the thing concept that does the action. It's the doer of the event. And some examples here are John ran fast, the deer jumped over the fence, the water flowed swiftly. The affected is the thing that undergoes the event or that is directly affected by the event. So for example, the meat and the ball. In these sentences, the dog ate the meat, John hit the ball. The goal concept is the thing toward which an action event is directed. This is slightly different than the affected. John prayed to God, John laughed at Peter, Peter threw the rock at the fence post, or from our passage in Mark chapter 2, Jesus said to the paralytic. The beneficiary concept is the thing that is either advantaged or disadvantaged by the event. John sold the car for a friend. Mary bought a present for Tom. The accompaniment is the thing concept which participates in close association either with the agent or the affected in a particular event. So in this case, John went to the park with his dog. John went to the park and his dog also went to the park. So with his dog is the accompaniment of agent. I went out to dinner with my family. The instrument concept is the thing that is used to carry out an event. So Mary wrote with a pencil. She covered the child with a blanket. The workman widened the road with a bulldozer. The location concept is the thing that identifies the spatial placement of an event, which is really just another term for the location of the event. Jane ran away from home. John flew in from Chicago. She went to the store. The time concept identifies the temporal placement, or again, just the time of the event. John went to college 3 weeks ago. Her mother stayed for 3 weeks. Or soon someone will come for us. The manner concept gives us the qualification of an event. The man ran quickly. John wrote the letter perfectly. The plant grew rapidly. The measure concept gives us the quantification of an event, answering the question, how much, how many, how often. Jane prays frequently. They widened the road by 20 feet. The corn had grown 3 inches. So in the examples that we saw, there was no skewing. The agent in this example is the grammatical subject of the sentence. John ran fast. Also, the accompaniment concept occurs as the object of the preposition with. No skewing here. I ate dinner with my family. But often there is skewing, and we need to keep this in mind as we analyze case roles, just as with all areas of semantics. So with the first example here, Peter ate the apple. The apple is the grammatical object, and it is the semantic affected, so there is no skewing. But the next example there, the apple was eaten by Peter, or the apple which Peter ate. In this case, the semantic affected is the grammatical subject, so there is indeed skewing. Also, in the last example on this screen, the eating of the apple by Peter, Peter's eating of the apple. In this case, the apple, which is the affected, is represented by the object of a preposition. Now, we need to keep in mind that a single form, a single grammatical form, could represent several different semantic case roles. So, for example, the preposition with in English, it could represent instrument, as in I ate ice cream with my spoon. Or I ate ice cream with my pie. This is accompaniment of affected. I ate the ice cream and the pie. The ice cream and pie are closely associated. Or I ate ice cream with my wife. In that case, it is accompaniment of agent. Same grammatical form in English, but 3 separate semantic relationships. And we need to keep this in mind as we analyze a body of text and as we prepare to translate it into another language, that we not focus on the form, because another language may not use the same specific preposition to represent all 3 of these semantic relationships. Okay, so we have looked at case roles within event propositions. Case roles are the relationships between the concepts within event propositions. In state propositions, the relations between the concepts are called state relations. Here are some examples. If, for example, in a particular state proposition, the topic is car, the comment is me, the relation between these is ownership. This could be stated a number of different ways. The car is mine, the car belongs to me. And of course, the context would determine exactly how it is worded. Or if the topic is dog, the comment is Fido, the relation between these concepts is naming. That would be the dog's name is Fido, or the dog is called Fido. Or the topic is car, the comment is garage, the relation is location, the car is in the garage. Or that table is the topic, wood is the comment, substance is the relation between these concepts, that wooden table or that table is made of wood. Some more examples here. The topic is book, the comment is small. The relation between these concepts is description. So in English, it would likely be stated that the book is small. Or bag is the topic, comment is rice. The relationship is containership, if that's actually a word. It probably isn't, but that's fine. There is almost no limit to the descriptions that we can use for the relation between concepts within state propositions. Sometimes we have to make up a word. So bag is the topic, rice is the comment, containership is the relation between these two thing concepts. So that would be the bag has rice in it, the bag contains rice. Air is the topic, hot is the comment, and ambience is the relation between them. It is hot. Or time is the topic, noon is the comment, time, again, is the relation between them. It is noon. Now, we need to keep in mind, just as with event propositions, with state propositions also, a single state relation could be encoded in several different forms. Again, the context will determine how it is actually stated. All of these statements represent the same basic state proposition. They're just stated slightly differently because the context demands it. So ownership between John and house could be stated John's house, John has a house, John owns a house, the house that John owns. Or with containership, a single state relation could be encoded in any one of these many forms. It's the same basic state proposition stated slightly differently because of the context. The water jug, the jug of water, the jug has water in it, the jug contains water, the jug with water in it, the jug containing water, the jug which contains water. Now, we have simple concepts and we also have complex concepts. So a simple concept would be, for example, dog. But this next sentence includes some complex concepts. The big dog inside the wooden fence is named Fido. So there are some embedded state propositions within this sentence. The basic proposition in this sentence is the dog is named Fido. But we also have three more state propositions that are embedded, creating complex concepts. The dog is big, the fence is wooden, the dog is inside the fence. For this tutorial, we will be marking case roles and state relations within the propositions. Make a copy of the document that has your list of rewritten propositions without skewing. Follow this pattern in marking case roles for event propositions and state relations for state propositions. For example, with the first proposition, Jesus is the agent, came back is the event, to Capernaum is the location, and several days afterward is the time. Then we have the short proposition, people heard. This is an event proposition. People are the agent, and the event, of course, is heard. The next proposition is a state proposition. So Jesus is the topic, and the location is at home.